Is the fear of being visible and putting yourself out there holding you back from growing the business that you know you could have? If so, you are going to love today's video because we are going to talk about 4 tips I have for you to overcome that fear of visibility. These are the tips that I have personally found to work for myself over the past 7 years of going from a super shy introvert who was so scared of even writing one social media post to building an audience of over 100,000 people across my different social media channels and my email list. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Luisa Zhou, and this channel is all about helping you build your own online business and go from employee to entrepreneur. All right, let's jump into tip number 1 to help you overcome your fear of visibility. And that tip is to find a motivation that is stronger than your fear. Now, let me tell you about how I found my motivation because it's a little bit different from the common advice out there. I tried for years to motivate myself with my dreams, with what I knew I was capable of, with focusing on the impact I knew I could have. But honestly, none of those at the time were strong enough. I was just so scared of putting myself out there. Then what happened was over the period of a year, everyone in my immediate family had something serious or life-threatening happen to them. My father was rushed to the ER for heart surgery. My mother was diagnosed with cancer, and my sister got hit in the eye with a freak snowball so that the doctors were afraid that she was going to lose her eyesight. Thankfully, everyone is recovered now. But at the time, I didn't have enough vacation time to take off the entire year and be with everybody. So what that did was it gave me the motivation to realize I needed to build something that would help me have the freedom to be able to be with the people I loved. And each time I felt scared of putting myself out there, I just pictured my dad and how weak he looked after the surgery. My mom just looked so sick. My sister sitting in the dark because that's what she had to do to let her eye heal. And just really use that to motivate myself that I was never going to be in that situation where I couldn't be there for my loved ones again. Now, you definitely don't need something that serious to happen to you and your loved ones, but I'm using this point to illustrate that sometimes if you're struggling to find the motivation within yourself, it could be that it's that motivation of being able to take care of your loved ones, maybe to be an amazing example for your children or your future children. That really creates that powerful drive within you that is just enough to be stronger than your fear. That way, every time you are scared of writing something that might make you look stupid if no one responds, or just feeling stupid by putting yourself out there, you can think to, okay, I can think this and let this hold me back, or I can think of those I really, really want to do this for as a part of growing my business and really think about what this is going to mean in terms of changing my life and those around me. Tip number 2 that I have for you is another tip that's going to be super helpful, especially if you consider yourself an introvert and maybe the thought of speaking to so many people at once feels really scary. And that tip for me is whenever I'm sitting down to create any piece of content, whether that's an email, a blog post, a social media post, or a video like this, I'm thinking of only one person. I'm not thinking of, oh my gosh, how many people are going to see this? I'm not thinking of any potential haters who might be seeing it and saying something mean about it. I'm thinking about someone that I really like, appreciate, respect, and care about. And for me nowadays, it's an ideal client that I want to share this for, or it's someone who I know is out there that I might not know personally, but who is just like me or like where I was and needing this content. And I'm creating that content for you. So I speak as if I'm just creating this for that one person. And I just focus on that. I focus on thinking about just that one person seeing it, because if it has that effect, that helpful effect for just one person out there, then it has done an amazing job. And what that does is it allows you to get out of your head in terms of thinking about, oh my gosh, I need to talk to all these people. I need to be the expert for all these people. What if all these people see it and they all hate it? It's just, hey, You can talk to one person at a time. You do that all day long. And you can do that online as well, even if it's someone you don't know, because you're imagining them to be someone like you, to be someone you would like and appreciate and respect anyways. And when you create your content from that place, not only is it way more personal and valuable and personable, it also allows you to really get out of your head in terms of being scared of being visible. Tip number 3 that I have for you is more about the internal piece, but this is so key because there's so much advice out there that just says, hey, just go out there and do it, get over your fears, just do it. And there's a time and place for that, absolutely. However, sometimes that fear of being visible is so internalized that no matter how motivated, how productive, how much of an action taker you are, sometimes that's just not enough. That's why it took me over 2 years of trying to get over this fear and having the things happen to my family before I could even be motivated enough to put myself out there. And I'm normally a very action-oriented, productive person. So this tip is to identify where that fear comes from. For me, that took a good bit of introspection and just journaling to see where my thoughts would take me. And I started with the question, why am I so scared of being visible? And it led me down this rabbit hole of understanding myself and my fears and my thoughts until I eventually realized I was so scared of being visible because of my upbringing. Honestly, I had been taught all my life that you're not supposed to be the center of attention. You're not supposed to put yourself out there. You're not supposed to be the person who's always hogging up everyone's attention. And that's just the way I was raised. Every time it would seem like I was being kind of too loud or just drawing too much attention to myself, I would go home and my parents would actually reprimand me. They would be so unhappy about it. And it was that kind of keep your head down, do the work, don't draw too much attention to yourself mentality that I know a lot of people can be brought up with. And so for me, every time I was putting myself out there, it felt like I was not being safe because of what I had been taught, right? That, okay, it's not safe to be seen because then people are gonna try and attack you, they're gonna take you down, maybe they're gonna dive deep into your private life and just be mean about it. And that was so scary. I also realized that it felt like I was being disrespectful to my parents every time that I had to put myself out there. Because of that, it felt really scary to go against everything I knew, my identity as a good daughter and decent human being and someone who was hardworking but wasn't like this bad attention craving person in order to put myself out there. Now for you, the fear might be coming from a different place or it might be coming from someplace similar, but the only way to find out is to simply go deeper within yourself, use journaling, maybe think about it to really identify, okay, where is this fear really coming from? And once you do, you can address it. So for me, I really had to bombard my mind with proof and research and thoughts about, okay, it's safe to put yourself out there, right? By researching all of the people who are making such a great impact by sharing lots of valuable content and they were okay and not having bad things happen to them, not having people come and kind of take them down. And I really had to bombard my mind also with the belief and the proof that the more visible I was, because I was a good human being who wanted to help people, the more people I would be able to help. And so once you figure out what those fears are, you can address them. You can look for proof. You can repeat affirmations to yourself that help you reprogram those beliefs day by day. And as you do that, that leads me into the final tip, which is slightly trivial, but frankly, it was so helpful for me starting out. And that tip is to realize that no one is paying as much attention to you as you are. If only they were, frankly, if only they were paying even a fraction of the attention to you as you are giving to yourself. The reason I share this is because it was so helpful, frankly, for me in the beginning, even after using the first 3 tips, to think, okay, I'm gonna write this email, I'm gonna write this post. You know what? Very few people will even see it. Or maybe some people will just skim over it and they won't even think about it twice. And that's not the goal we're going for here. Obviously, you want to create content to be seen and to impact and create amazing value. But in the beginning, That was what I needed to tell myself in order to overcome the fear of, oh my gosh, people are gonna be obsessing over my content. What if people see it and they think this person is so stupid because no one is responding, or I look stupid? Guess what? Pretty much nobody is thinking that. I don't look at a piece of content and think, oh my gosh, it only has however many comments or however many likes. Frankly, I don't even notice that most of the time. If I read a piece of content, I'm thinking, do I like it or do I not? Am I getting a good takeaway from it, or am I not even bothering to really read the rest of it? That's it. If I like the piece of content, then I will like the content, or I will respond to it or engage with it just to let that writer know that, hey, I really appreciated this. And if not, then I'm not thinking this person sucks. I'm just thinking, okay, this piece of content wasn't for me, and then I move on with my life. And when you think about that, the same goes for your audience as well. And when you do that, honestly, it takes off a lot of the pressure of creating the content for yourself, and it allows you to get enough over that fear of visibility to post your first few pieces of content. And then what happens is, as you do this over time, you start realizing, oh, I'm building my own audience. People are really appreciating this. You build your own confidence, and bit by bit, you don't need that kind of crutch anymore. But like I said, it was so helpful for me in the beginning to really have that and to know that, which is why I'm sharing it with you. Now, if you found these tips helpful and you're ready to go out there and create some really great content and really dip your toes in the water and start building your own confidence, I do have another great video for you on how to create lots of content, never run out of ideas, and do so really quickly. And so I'm going to link that video for you somewhere on the screen and or in the description below. I also have a great PDF for you on the 15-second script to use to get your first or next paying client, if that is where you are and what you're wanting some help with as well. So again, I will link that PDF for you somewhere on the screen and or in the description below. And that is it for today's video. I really hope you found these 4 tips helpful, because I truly believe all of us have something unique and powerful that we need to be sharing, because there are people out there who are going to find it so helpful and valuable. Just as if all those years ago, if I hadn't been able to build my confidence and overcome that fear of visibility one post, one day at a time, I wouldn't be able to be here and share this video with you, which again, hopefully you found helpful. Now, if you've liked this video, I would so appreciate it if you hit the like button. And if you are new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified each week when I release a brand new video on building your own online business and going from employee to entrepreneur. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.